So I asked ChatGPT what I'd need to make Flappy Bird in Roblox Studio. First, we need a part called Bird. It should be anchored with collisions off, placed at coordinates 0, 10, 0. I'll add a texture later, but for now it stays plain. Next, I created a model holding two parts for the upper and lower pipes. I colored them green so they're easy to see while testing. Then I added a ground part and some UI to display the score and handle respawning. Oh boy, I sure hope I won't have to delete those later. ChatGPT also suggested hazard tags for the pipes and ground, but since they're optional, I skipped them. Finally, I made a local script in Starter Player Scripts to handle movement, scoring, and collisions. That gives us a working Flappy Bird remake, but basic, ugly, and far from finished. Right now the game instantly starts as soon as the player joins. There's no start screen, just the current score at the top, and when you die, it pops up a restart button. The problem was, the game felt brutal. The pipe gaps were way too tight, so I went into the script, found the part that controlled those values, and widened the gaps to make things a bit more forgiving. Suddenly, the game started to feel a lot closer to the actual Flappy Bird. Of course, it still wasn't finished. For one, the player's humanoid model was still visible, which looked wrong. I fixed that by writing a script in ServerScript service to hide it. I didn't fully understand why it had to be a server script instead of a local one. After all, the model is only shown on the client, but that was the solution that worked. Next was the leaderboard. My original idea was to have a global leaderboard that showed the best scores of everyone in the server. That turned out too complicated, so I switched to a local version that shows your last 3 attempts and your best 3 attempts from the current session. The AI suggested generating these UI elements directly through the game script, so I wouldn't need starter GUIs. But I had already built the UIs manually, so at first I just told it, nah. The problem is, when I ran the updated script, it created its own UIs on top of mine anyway, which made the starter GUIs completely useless. In the end, I ditched the manual UIs and went with the script-generated ones, since those worked better with the scoring system. Once that was sorted, I moved on to fine-tuning. I adjusted the spacing between pipe pairs, made the gap between them larger, tweaked their movement speed toward the player, and resized the leaderboard so it didn't take up too much screen space. With the gameplay mechanics in place, it was finally time to give everything a proper look. I searched Google for textures for the bird and the pipes. This was actually the first time I'd ever added a texture to anything inside Roblox Studio, so it was a learning curve. At first, they didn't even show up when I hit play. That turned out to be because I had applied them to the wrong faces of the parts. Once I fixed that, I also set the parts themselves to transparent, so only the textures were visible. The top pipes gave me the biggest headache. Their textures refused to face downward. Thinking about it now, the clean fix would have been to simply rotate the part 180 degrees when the script spawns it. But instead, I tried clumsy workarounds, like rotating the entire model, forgetting that ChatGPT had told me the pipe's orientation didn't matter since they're spawned by script anyway. My final solution was to adjust the Y position of the texture so the top appeared at the bottom. It looked a little strange, but it got the job done. For the background, I added a giant sky blue wall to cover up the base plate. Then, for some reason, I threw a light source on it, because the scene felt too dark without one. With all that finished, I recorded a bit of gameplay to make sure everything was working as expected, and finally called it a day. Before I wrap this up, I just want to thank you for making it this far into the video. This Flappy Bird remake is far from perfect, but that's kind of the point, because I'm completely new to development. This is actually the very first project I've ever done in Roblox Studio. The whole reason I started this channel is to document my journey as a beginner, and hopefully inspire some of you to start building games too. If I can do it, starting from zero, then so can you. If you made it this far, chances are you enjoyed the video. So consider leaving a like. It really helps more than you think. And I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about the game, about this video, or even about other projects I should try next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. So that's my take on Flappy Bird in Roblox Studio. It's simple, it's a little messy, but it works. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.